Bringing people and communities together on seclosounds.org.
Your listening station.
This week's show features Zagreb. If you don't know where Zagreb is, stay listening and you'll find out. And also how to get tours around the Houses of Parliament. That's all coming up on the John Guinn Travel Show on seclosounds.org. Hello and welcome to the John Guinn Travel Show on seclosounds.org. I have two guests on this week's show. Later on I'll be hearing from Darja, who will be telling us about Zagreb. If you don't know where it is, you'll be finding out shortly. And of course, at the end of the show, there'll be travel news. But my first guest is Tracey West. Tracey's speaking about tours around the Houses of the Parliament. I'm not sure if you've been watching the Inside the Commons programme on TV. I found it very interesting. And I'm not following the trends on TV, I have to be honest. I did arrange this ages ago. But when there's that bad accident on the M1, it took me 4 hours to get from junction 11 to junction 12, and I missed the chance to interview Tracey, so I'm catching up on that. The interview comes about as I found out that you can go up to the tower with Big Ben, the Elizabeth Tower as it's called now, and I couldn't do it, as you may remember a few shows back, because of the election coming, and they're not booking any visits to it now. But I wanted to know what else you can see and do there, so Tracey's coming on now. She's going to tell us all we need to know about going to see the Houses of Parliament and see what the place looks like from the inside, because I'm sure everybody has seen it from the outside.
There are 3 tours. There's audio tours, they're self-guided, and you can go around at your own pace with a headset or earphones. Then there's a family version of the audio tour aimed at children aged 7 to 10. And thirdly, there are guided tours which you can go around with in a group with a personal tour guide. They're available in English, French, German, Italian, Spanish, Russian and Mandarin.
Quite a choice then.
Yeah.
Are there any restrictions on the people who are allowed to take part in these tours?
Yep. Photography is only available in Westminster Hall and St Stephen's Hall, and this is for security reasons. And guests aren't allowed to sit on the chairs in the House of Commons and House of Lords chambers. And that's just a respect thing, I think.
Okay. You mentioned security restrictions. Is there anything people should be aware of before they turn up?
Yep, on arrival at the Houses of Parliament, you'll be directed to pass through airport-style security searches. So you need to turn up about, we recommend, 20 to 30 minutes before the tour to pass through security.
Yeah, I work at an airport part-time, so I know how long those checks can take.
You feel the pain. They're really good, though. They've been trained to deal with a wide range of people, so there's no need to be nervous.
Well, the lot I go through have been trained specially to be grumpy no matter who you are. That's just one of the things. How does somebody go ahead to book a members tour?
So members tours are slightly different. They're only available to UK residents and must be sponsored by a Member of Parliament or a member of the House of Lords. It's best to telephone your local MP's office who can arrange this for you.
Is there a cost involved in this?
For the members' tours, they're free of charge, but for the other tours that we spoke about earlier, there are charges, and I'll talk about those later on.
Okay. So what can you see when you're on a members' tour?
So you get to see the Royal State Apartments, the House of Commons and the House of Lords chambers, Central Lobby, St Stephen's Hall and Westminster Hall. So it's a unique combination of 1,000 years of history, modern-day politics and stunning art and architecture. It's basically what you get to see if you watch the state opening of Parliament and a little bit more.
Okay, that sounds quite good. Actually, I've been watching the programme on telly the last few weeks.
Yeah, I know. Everyone has. It seems to have generated quite a lot of interest, which is great for us.
Yeah, it's not so good if you're on a waiting list, though, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
So are the ones you don't have to go through your local MP for, are they similar? Or does the MP tour give you something extra?
Yeah, they're the same.
Okay.
It's just that there's more availability for those because the members' tours can only happen when the MPs aren't, like, there's less availability.
Okay.
So it's exactly the same thing, but less availability. And sometimes, because the MPs' tours happen when the House is in session, you occasionally don't get to see quite as much of the line line of route.
Okay. With the audio tours, how does that work? Do you have to walk to a certain pace, or do you press play and pause? I've never done one.
Okay, so the audio tours are self-guided. So you go round at your own pace with a headset and earphones, and the audio commentary features leading parliamentary figures such as Mr. Speaker and Black Rod. A family version of the audio tour, as I said, aimed at children 7 to 12, is available in English, and the engaging commentary is in the style of a live news broadcast with travelling time reporters. It's quite good fun, actually. And they report from the scene on stories associated with the Houses of Parliament going back in history.
What would you say is the highlight of a guided tour?
I think it's different for everyone. So some people come for the history, so they like Westminster Hall, they like to see the big old wooden roof. Some people come for the politics, so they like to stand at the debate, like the boxes, and pretend they're debating. And other people like the art, so they tend to like the painting. So it's a bit different for everyone.
Mm-hmm. I recently tried through my MP to do the Big Ben and Elizabeth Tower tour, but I was told that I couldn't because the election was coming up. So if you have got a tour of the Big Ben and the Elizabeth Tower and it's been altered or cancelled due to state business, do you jump the queue to come back, or do you have to wait again?
Yes. So what happens is, because it's a working building, when the MPs go into dissolution, which is the run-up to the election, they all cease to become MPs. So anything that they have got booked gets cancelled. But because we know it's the dissolution, we don't book tours. We don't tend to book tours during this time for members' tours. But anything that gets booked and cancelled is obviously on a priority rebooking.
Okay, I didn't get that far to get on the priority rebooking. I'll just have to wait until after May, I guess.
Yeah, I think it depends on the MP's office as well, because the MP's office have to have internal administration going on with the Central Tours office. So sometimes a little bit gets lost between the MP's office and the place that controls the tours.
Gary Fitz here, every Monday, 10 o'clock.
Coming up, we've got Eric and Ernie.
Join me here on Seclo Sounds.
In your smile. It's from 1975. Eric and Ernie were four.
Gary, it's not Eric and Ernie, it's Earl and Ernie, the Cape Brothers, Union Man.
Oh, I see.
Gary Fitz here, every Monday, 10 o'clock.
Earl and Ernie.
You're listening to the John Guinn Travel Show on seclosounds.org. Still to come on the show, there's travel news, and of course my second guest, Darja. I hope I pronounced that right. I stand absolutely no chance getting her second name right, so I'm not even going to try it. But anyway, she'll be talking about Zagreb. But at the moment I'm speaking to Tracey West, a name I can pronounce, and we're talking about the Houses of Parliament and the tours you can do there. Just before the short break, we're talking about the Elizabeth Tower and applying for it. And now we're going to talk about being successful and getting a ticket to do the tour. We're now going to find out what you can see once you take part.
The Elizabeth Tower tour is it's 339 stairs up to the top, and you get to see behind the clock faces, and you also get to see Big Ben chime. And it depends on the hour that you go, how many chimes you see. But you get a unique view of the top, which is quite good views of London. It depends on the weather, but usually you can see quite far out over London.
There can't have been many people who've seen that view then, I guess.
No, it's really something. It's great.
Are you able to take photographs from the top?
No,
No.
you're not allowed to take photographs.
Okay, it's all a memory thing then.
Yeah, it's good memory though. I still can shut my eyes and see myself walking behind those clock faces.
Okay. I can still see myself being extremely tired by the time I got to the top of the stairs.
They do stop. They've got stops along the way, so they
handy.
do. But it is something to bear in mind. It can be quite a lot of exercise. So just something to bear in mind. If you're not so good on your feet, or it's a long way to the top, there's a cafe at the bottom, so you can just sit and have a cup of tea if you'd rather.
Yeah, I'm built for going downstairs but not going up. It's just the way I am. There's a limited available contemporary portrait pictures. I'm not very good at pronunciation. At Portcullis House. What other special tours have been available in the past, and are there any new ones coming?
So we've got the Banners exhibition that's up in Westminster Hall at the moment, and that talks about democracy over the years, because obviously this year is quite a special year for Parliament. Got a few anniversaries going on. We have Royalty and Splendour tours of the House of Lords, where you get unique access to yourself of the House of Lords, and it talks about the portraiture and the art, and at the end you get a glass of champagne. And new ones that are planned. Watch this space. I think it depends on what exhibitions we get going, and if there's anything special, we highlight it and just put it on the website for people to have a look. So watch this space, really.
Okay. Speaking of your website, I've had a look, and some of the tours come with an afternoon tea option. Where is the tea served?
So the tea is served in the terrace pavilion overlooking the River Thames. Quite a nice place to sort of sit and look out.
Do you cater for those with specific diets, such as me, who's a vegan who doesn't drink tea?
Yes, so we have vegetarian and gluten-free diets. They can be accommodated. And unfortunately, afternoon tea is not suitable for those that require a dairy-free diet. But for those who don't drink tea, there's freshly brewed coffee, water or orange juice.
Okay, I'll be on water and orange juice then. Just never been into hot drinks, never ever.
I'm a tea addict. I'm so sorry. We're like the opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, I think it's too late for me to change now. I'm never going to do it.
Me too.
The tours are obviously it's an old building. How accessible is it for people to get around?
Yeah, obviously we are a listed building, and the lifts that we've got are in the old chimney stacks, interestingly. All tours are accessible for wheelchair users. Alternative routes and viewing points exist for visitors with the larger motorised wheelchairs. On the stop, we require a slight detail before rejoining the main group, just for one stop. And for visitors who are deaf or who have hearing loss, a screen-based version of the audio tour is available in British Sign Language. We have free tactile tours for visually impaired guests, and tours run between 10 and 12 times a year, usually late on a Friday afternoon, and they last approximately 2 hours. There are opportunities to explore objects and tactilely touch the furniture on the tour route itself as well.
Having a screen-based version with somebody doing sign language never would have come to me. That seems a really great idea.
Because it's actually an audio tour, if you think, but audio tour for deaf doesn't sound right, but it actually has the words underneath. So we've had great feedback from that, actually. Yeah. So happy to be able to do that. It's great.
So how do we find out more about the tours that are on offer?
So they're online at www.parliament.uk/visiting, or contact the Visit Parliament team, who are really friendly, and they're on 0207 219 4114.
Okay, thanks Tracey. Thank you for your time.
Okay, John, thanks very much.
This is Seklo Sounds. Join us every Wednesday at 7 p.m. for 1 hour in the company of Harry and Edna on the Wires, exploring all aspects of the vintage scene and playing tip-top gramophone tunes. Harry and Edna on the Wireless, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. on seklosounds.org. Jolly good.
Sound the big thing now.
Hi, blessings to each and every one of you. Join me, Darren Hoy, with the Reggae Takeover Show for 2 hours of the finest reggae vibes, each and every Wednesday, 9 through to 11 p.m, here on Seklo Sounds. Don't miss out on your weekly Sunshine Fix, featuring Roots, Rude Boy, Dub, Lovers Rock, Ska, One Drop, and much, much more. So go on, give your sound system a treat. Join me, wind down low, and skank your night away. One love. That's Wednesdays, 9 through to 11 p.m, live on Seklo Sounds.
It's a top, my selector.
You're listening to the John Guinn Travel Show on seklosounds.org.
This is Seklo Sounds, and you can listen to us by clicking Listen Live on our homepage at seklosounds.org for a choice of players. Via TuneIn Radio at www.tunein.com, search for Seklo Sounds and listen online, or download the TuneIn app. You can download the Seklo Sounds iPhone app from the iTunes App Store, and you can listen to us on demand at our replay page.
Still to come on the show, there's some travel news, but now we're moving on to Zagreb, the second destination of this week's show. A few days ago I spoke to Darja, I hope I pronounced that right, who works for the Zagreb Tourist Board. We had a